Namaste everyone. Welcome to my channel Hari's Nepal Traveling Tips. I am Hari, tourist guide from Nepal. Hello guys, how is the life under the COVID crisis? Perhaps you have lost job and forced to stay at home. Hopefully vaccine will be available very soon for everyone and life will get back into normal. Here in Nepal, I also have not been working for a year, and just in this free time, I am making series of the videos with detailed information about the trekking destination of Nepal. When situation get back into normal, and if you are willing to come to Nepal, at that time I hope this video will be helpful for you. This video is about the Everest Base Camp Trek. Everest Base Camp Trek is an epic journey for a lifetime. The trek goes up to the foot of the world's highest mountain, and just en route it is going to pass through some of the most beautiful places on earth. The views of the mountains, valleys and rivers are just stunning. In addition, the local life of the Sherpa people and their welcoming culture are just overwhelming. You don't need to have anything extra for this trip, but if you have a prior trekking experience or the bit of physical exercise would be really good, and of course positive attitude must be there. I'm going to explain about the itinerary. You need to have at least 12 days to complete this trip. You need one day before the trek in Kathmandu, and after trek you need another day before you fly out. And I suggest you to have a one day on your hand before you fly out from Kathmandu. So if the flight cancels from the Lukla, you will have enough time to organize alternative way to fly out from there, so you don't miss international flight. It means in total you need 15 days. If things goes smoothly, then you can enjoy your time in Kathmandu in sightseeing, because there is a lot of things to see in Kathmandu. The trek begins after the short flight to Lukla. At present, first round of the flights are flying from Kathmandu. Then after second round, it will be operated from the Ramesap, which is about 120 km far away from Kathmandu. And it is because heavy air traffic in Kathmandu airport and late afternoon bad weather in Lukla. If you're lucky, you get the first round of flight. Otherwise, you have to drive to Ramesap, then fly from there. It takes about 3 to 4 hours. Flying to Lukla is kind of adventure itself. Lukla airport is one of the most extreme airport in the world because of its geographical location. An aircraft which flying to Lukla are the very small one, which takes maximum 19 person at once. They are like Dornier, LET-41 or Twin Otter. Once you land in Lukla and get off from the plane, you will be welcomed by cold and fresh air. The trip begins immediately after that. The first day of the trekking is quite easy. You are trekking to the place called Phakding. It takes about 3 to 4 hours. And second day, you are trekking to Namche Bazaar, and it is pretty long day. It takes about 7 hours to reach there, and last 2.5 hours going to be uphill. On the way up, you arrive at one certain place called Topdana. If you have not seen the Sagarmatha or Mount Everest from the plane, from here you will see the glimpse of the Mount Everest for the first time on this trip. Namche Bazaar is one of the biggest villages in Khumbu region. There are many stores, shops and restaurants. There is a good coffee shop and bakery shop as well. There is even sauna center and pub with the live music performance. If you have missed anything to take from the Kathmandu, that is the last moment to grab. At Namche, you are going to spend additional day as an acclimatization day, and on this day after breakfast you will be hiking to the top of the ridge which is above the village. Just on the way up you can visit Sagarmatha National Park Visitor Center and Museum as well. After arriving at the top, that takes about 1.5 hours, and then you have a choice whether to get back to tea house in Namche and take a rest, or continue to Khumjung village. Khumjung is another one of the biggest villages there, and just above the village there is one monastery where you can see the so-called Yetis school as well. And then later in the afternoon you will return to Namche. On the day 4, you are trekking to Tengboche. That takes about 5 to 6 hours. First 2 hours the trail will be pretty easy because it is basically flat. Then it goes down to the Dudkosi river and it starts climb up all the way to Tengboche. At Tengboche, there is located biggest and most active monastery. You can visit that in the afternoon. However, there is only few tea houses are located. So if the accommodation is not available there, then you trek down further to Tengboche, which is about 15 meters further, and there is plenty of tea houses. Following day, you are trekking to Tengboche. It takes about 5 hours and the trail is gradual, but due to high altitude and thin air, you will find yourself struggling even on the slope. In Tengboche, again, you are going to spend additional day as acclimatization day. On this day, you have two options. One is to go to Nangarsthan hilltop, another one is hike to Chokung Valley. And here I suggest you to climb the Nangarsthan hilltop, which rises just above the village, and from the top of these hills you will see the really good views of the mountains and valleys. After Tengboche, most of the trekking companies have a itinerary to go to Lobuje, but here I suggest you to break a day into two and stay in the middle place called Lukla. And just in this case, your number of the days of trekking going to be extended by a day. And another option is to escape the additional night in Namche Bazaar and Tengboche. Instead of staying at Namche for second night, you trek to Kanjuma about 2 hours further, and from Kanjuma you trek to Pangboche, passing through the Tengboche and Tengboche, and from Pangboche you come to Tengboche and stay there for a night, and you trek to Lukla. So further you can catch up the regular schedule. From the Tengboche, if you break the day into two and staying at Lukla, it takes about 2 to 3 hours to reach there, and it is located at the height of 4,700 meter. And next day you trek to Lobuje, of course, and it takes about another 2 hours to reach there. It is going to be short day for walking, so in the afternoon you can walk around the village. Next day it is going to be big day for you, because you are trekking for a long time, and also you are arriving at the ultimate destination. You start trek after breakfast in the morning, and you trek to Gorakhsep. Gorakhsep is about 2 to 3 hours from Lobuje, and you arrive there by lunchtime. After arriving at Gorakhsep, you will have a lunch and take a room. Then after, you have actually two options, either to go to Everest Base Camp or trek to Kalapatthar. If you are trekking to Everest Base Camp, then you can start immediately after the lunch. If you are trekking to Kalapatthar, then you can start late in the afternoon, because you are going to see the sunset from there, and you will see really good views of the Mount Everest and other mountains from there. And usually people go there in sunset time, because we can see very good views of the sun setting over the Mount Everest. And for the sunrise, actually sun rises from behind the Mount Everest, so we don't see really good views of the sunrise. If you are going there for sunset, you have to be a bit careful, because when you return it is going to be dark and trail is not stable, and also the cold air will hit you. Either one trip you do today, next day you are going to do another one, and it takes pretty much same time again. You start before 4 o'clock in the morning and return to tea houses by 8 o'clock, and then after you immediately check out the room and then sit for the breakfast, and also you can take a rest for a while. And after having breakfast, you start your journey back down to Lukla. Today you are arriving at Pheriche. It is going to be very easy to trek back down, because in every single step you will be losing high altitude and you are getting more oxygen. And next day from Pheriche you will trek down to Namche Bazaar. That is pretty long day again, but trekking in lower region is pretty easy. And from Namche, on the final day of the trekking, you are trekking down to Lukla, and it takes about 7-8 hours. After arriving at Lukla, if you have a guide will reconfirm the flight ticket, so you fly out on time next day. And if you don't have a guide, if you are trekking solo, then you also have to make a flight reconfirmation to fly out on time next day. And if you are lucky, you get the direct flight to Kathmandu. Otherwise you fly to Ramesa first, then drive to Kathmandu. After arriving in Kathmandu at the hotel, that is the moment to cheers your achievement. And now here I am going to describe about the equipments, that what you need to pack during the trek. I would like to begin with the bags. Actually you should have two bags. One is the bigger bag, like this backpack I have, which it is 75 plus liter size. So instead of this kind of the bag, you can bring the duffel bag as well. And if you are joining the company in Kathmandu, some of the company they provide the duffel bag to pack your things as well, so you can inquire with them. And another one is a small bag, which is like a day pack, just like this one. It should be around 30 liters, and there should be fit your rain jacket, camera, and water bottle. Respect what you need during the day. And next important thing is a sleeping bag. Here I have this one, and it should resist at least minus 10 degrees Celsius, because it is going to be extremely cold. And you will find the blankets as well, but it may not be enough long to cover yourself. And also if you are trekking in the busy season, at that time even that is not available. And another thing is the shoes. You should have one good pair of the boot. Actually this is mine, I have been using it for few years, and it should protect the ankle as well. And beside this good boot, you can take sneakers that you can use after the day trek at the tea houses. Another important thing is the jackets. I suggest you to take multiple layers of the jacket, like a fleece and jumpers. And I have this one as like Gore-Tex. Then of course the down jacket, that you must take this down jacket with you. And taking multiple layers gives you more comfortable option to use. And when it is really cold, you can put on all layers, and then when it gets hot, at that time you can take one after another layer, so you can stay comfortable. Then I am going to talk about pants. Actually here you should pack at least 3 pieces of the pants, both thick and thin. And thin one you can use in the lower place, and on the way back you can use that, and on the way up or in the higher place you can use the thick one. I have been using this one actually, for it has been a few years. And another thing is the t-shirts. I suggest you to take at least 5 pieces of the dry fit t-shirts with the long sleeve. Long sleeve will protect you from sunburn as well. So, but you can use the short one as well. You can take a few of them with the short sleeve as well. It's up to you. For the hat, you can take a warm hats like a beanie or whatever, and it should cover the air as well, like mine here. And it is just pretty warm, so I take off it now. And for the hands, I suggest you to take 2 layers of gloves. One is liner and another one is outer layer. Outer layer should be windproof and waterproof. And another important thing is thermal underwear, and that you can take at least 4 pieces. Next is socks. You can use like this one, thick woolen socks, at least 4 pairs, then a pair of liner for each day. And next is toiletries, includes toilet paper and towel. Towel you can get at the tea houses, but not everywhere, so you better have your own one. It should be dry fit and small, so it can be folded and packed in easily, and it is light as well. Another thing is rain jacket that must have with you during this trip. Even you are trekking during the dry season, there is chances of the sudden change in the weather and chances of snow falling or drizzling, so you should have that also. And next, one handy but very useful thing is this one. This is puff. It protects you from cold, from dust, and also from the sunburn. And another important thing is sunglasses that you must have. Another important thing is the water bottle. Actually you can take a camel bag as well, as seen you in the photograph. Otherwise you can take this one. Even you are taking the camel bag, I suggest you to take this kind of the water bottle, but make sure this is BPA free. In the evening you can fill up with the hot water and throw into the sleeping bags, so it will keeps you warm all over the night, and in the morning when you get up you will have a warm water to drink. And next thing is the trekking pole. It helps a lot in descending and of course little in uphill as well, but some people may ignore, so it depends on your personal opinion. If you are trekking in the winter or snowy season, then you can have this kind of the crampons. So it is quite easy and nice one, easy to use. You can just put on your boot and you can use it. Is easy. You can find it in Kathmandu easily, or you can bring it from the home. It costs about $10 to $50, depends upon the material quality, I think. Next important thing is headlight here. It is really important, because in each tea houses there is no electricity, so at that time you have to have this one to use inside the room, and also when you are going out you need to have this one. Of course, on the day when you climb Kalapatthar and you go to Everest Base Camp, at that day you must have a headlight. And next thing is the portable solar power panel. If you have this one, you can just hang on your day pack during the day, and it will be easy for you to charge your mobile or camera whenever you need. But instead you can take a power bank as well, just like here, this one. You can charge your mobile and camera for multiple times. Or just if you are not taking anything else, you can just charge at the tea houses and you can pay there. Next thing is the book. You can take a book or a Kindle because you are trekking for about 5 hours every day on the way up, and rest of the time is the free. So to kill that time, you can use a book or the Kindle to read the book. And also you can take a gaming stuff like a chessboard or deck of cards. And next thing, you should pack some dry nuts and cookies that you can use when you get really hungry on the way, just on the middle of the way, and also when you do the side trip. At that time you need those stuff. Another thing is sunscreen. It should be at least 50 SPF, and also you should pack a lip balm and moisturize cream as well. Next thing is first aid kit. Actually, guide or assistant guide will be carrying first a pack of first aid kit, but I suggest you to take your own as well. That includes cleaning stuff and bandages in accidental case, and Panadol, Diazine, Imodium, and etc. And of course you can take a Diamox as well. There is not 100% guarantee that it prevents from high altitude sickness, but it helps a lot to get rid of this. But for this, once you visit your doctor and consult with them. Just in the first aid list, you can take a water purification tablet as well. If you are not buying the water from the tea houses, then you can fill up your bottle from the tap and water stream. In this case, you have to use purifying tablets, and you can take it from the Kathmandu, or you can bring from your home as well. The taste may not be really good, so you can take some flavors as well, so you can mix in the water and you can drink. That will be better option. Now I am talking about the meals and accommodation, that what you can expect during the trek. For the meal, you get the varieties of the food during the trek. You get a continental menu and Nepalese one. And in the continental menu you get pizza, burger, lasagna, or even steak. And in local menu, dal bhat is the most common. Then after you get some other foods. And there you should not miss two things. One is Sherpa stew and another one is yak cheese toast. For the hot drinks, tea, coffee, hot chocolate is available everywhere. And here also again you shouldn't miss to try masala tea. And for the accommodation, there are well developed tea houses are found along the way, and basically you can expect the twin shared bedroom with shared bathroom and toilet, which are located outside. It costs about $5 per night. In this case, you are paying extra for charging the batteries and getting hot shower. And in the bigger place like in Lukla, Phakding, Namche and Tengboche, you can find the room with a private bathroom, and they have a hot water and place for charging as well. But using this kind of the room is pretty expensive. Now I am talking about the communication. On the way, in most of the places, Ncell has a network reception for calling, and Ncell is actually mobile service company owned by private sector, and currently they are upgrading their towers, so very soon we will be able to use the 4G data as well. On the other hand, there is internet service providing company called Everest Link. Currently it is selling 3 data packages. Safety and security is above everything else. When you are planning for this trip, consider that you need to take travel insurance as well. Travel insurance you cannot buy in Kathmandu, so you have to buy before you set off on the journey, and that should cover helicopter rescue from high altitude. And just next I will give you a few tips that what you need to do while walking and then at the tea houses. And yeah, well, on the way you are going to pass hundreds of yaks, jokios and mules transporting the goods for trekkers. When you are passing them, you have to always stay on the uphill side. If you are on the cliff side, they may knock down. Another thing, actually, getting difficulties in breathing, tiredness, irritating, it is pretty much common for everyone. But if you have a headache, vomiting and nausea, then you immediately better let to know your guide. So you can sit together, examine your body, then you can make a decision whether to stop there or return down to the lower place. On the other hand, if you are trekking alone, even you have to be more careful. If you get any kind of such symptoms, then stop right there, judge your condition, then make a decision whether to stop there or return down to lower place. Otherwise, it is going to get worse on the way up. If you have got any symptoms, never hide with anyone else and never try to push yourself upwards. Finally, I'm talking about the budget or cost. Everest Base Camp trip is comparatively expensive trek. You will be paying for charging batteries, taking hot shower, or even to get the drinking water. You find different amount of the price for this trip on the internet that offered by the trekking operator companies. The prices heavily depend upon the group size and service taken during the trek and in Kathmandu. General price range is $1,000 to $1,500. That should cover your ground transportation in Kathmandu on arrival and departure, flight tickets to Lukla and vice versa, guiding and portering fee, a national park fee, meals and accommodation during the trek, and of course hot drinks, and rest of the other expenses like buying drinking water or other hard drinks, buying power bars or chocolates, colas, etc. Those will be extra. Even you have about a full package trip, make sure that you are carrying some cash. I suggest you to take at least $200 in local currency. And if you are doing solo trip, then cost can be a bit lower because you will not be hiring guide and porters. And at the end, if I have missed anything to describe here, please comment on the comment box. And if you have been already in this trip, please share your ideas on the comment box. As I said early in this video, I am making series of the videos with the detailed information about the trip. So next video will be about the Annapurna circuit trip. So for this, your like, comment and subscribe would be very valuable for me. Have a good time. Namaste.